Welcome, everyone. My name's Darla Helt, and I'm the Executive Director at Peace Northwest. And tonight's a great, exciting night. We're joined tonight by a couple of our amazing self-advocates who's going to tell you about several different programs that they're involved with and some of their own experiences. So tonight, to join us, we have Alex. Would you like to say hi and introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, I'm Alex in Clark County.
Okay. And we have Katie Murray. Katie, would you like to introduce yourself and say something?
Hi, I'm Katie Murray.
And then popping in and out with us tonight will also be Hattie, who is doing double duty as a mom. Hattie, you want to say hi?
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here tonight. And Katie and Alex, thank you so much for coming.
Yes, this is going to be a great night. Okay, excellent. So why don't we go ahead and Alex, why don't you start and tell us about the self-advocacy programs that you're involved with?
Okay, I'm involved with the Developmental Disability Council, and I'm also involved with People First of Southwest Washington. We're just starting out in that group. I believe we have like 6 members, I think.
Oh.
I think there's 6 or maybe 5. I can't remember the count now. Hattie could, or yeah, 8, I guess.
Alex, could you tell us a little bit more about what the Developmental Disabilities Council is?
Sure. It's a council in which we create a 5-year state plan, which is also on our website for everyone to see. And it's a plan that we create with a little help from Commerce, steering the way and making sure that we follow all the federal guidelines of what we need to follow. And hopefully within a month, we will have a public, what was that word? I can't remember what the word is. Public something or
policy?
other.
Yeah.
Yes, public policy person in place, hopefully within a month.
Excellent. And who appointed you to be on the Developmental Disabilities Council?
The governor of Washington. You get appointed by the governor. And the website can be a little complicated, but it's easy if you call Linda West or Brian Dahl. They can walk you through it and walk you through the process. And they'll even do the process for you, but you will have to like give permission for them to do the process or whatever, to print it out, or they may have to meet you in person, depending on what all happens, so that they can at least get your signature of some kind.
And for that group, do you meet in person or do you meet virtually?
Sometimes it's virtually, sometimes it's in person. Most of the time it's in person, but we do a hybrid version of it, some in person, some hybrid, and we're always looking for new members. Always, always, always. Parents with a child with disabilities or a self-advocate can join, and we're trying to get new members like constantly. It's a constant rotation.
Excellent. Okay. And so the decisions that council makes, where do those decisions go? What kind of things do they drive in our state?
Transportation, employment, the birth to 3, all sorts of different areas within our state.
Excellent. And if somebody had questions about that, Could they reach out to you and get more information?
Yes, they could do that, and they could also reach out to either Linda West or Brian Dahl to get more information, or Brandy Montz, who is the new executive director, and she's very nice.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, Katie, do you want to tell us which programs you're involved with?
Okay, so I'm involved with the Peace Empowerment Group, and we meet every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's usually in person, but since after a few years of COVID, but we're still doing Zoom. We talk about different topics about like roommate matching or about housing, like living in an apartment. That sort of stuff. I actually do have a roommate, but I have not seen her since Monday of last week. But I have been living in my apartment for since last year of November 2022.
Wow. Do you like living in your apartment?
Yes, I do. I do like living in my apartment. I'm not used to being by myself though. It can be a little scary sometimes, but I mean, I'm getting used to doing my own stuff, like doing the laundry and cooking meals and locking the door. I usually get to lock up the door before I go to work, so I had some practice in that. But me and my parents have talked about me living more independent, like the last 4 years, but I wasn't able to find a roommate until now. My roommate, her name is Stephanie Salsworth. She has ADHD, but I don't see her a lot because she is at this thing called Job Corps out there in Estacada.
Interesting. So, Katie, with the Building Independence Group, are there any requirements for people to join that group?
I'd have to say, I don't think so.
And is there any travel involved with that group?
When you say travel, what does that mean?
Well, do you have to drive somewhere to participate in it?
I'd have to say that we were meeting at the Building Independence Group building right now, years ago, but I don't think that we're traveling right now. We do, however, we'll set up events like if people want to meet somewhere, like Alex. There's another person in my apartment complex who lives on the other side of me, and his name's Alex as well. I can't pronounce his last name, Alex W. But sometimes we'll get together and hang out at Orchards Parks. And I actually don't live that far from Orchards Parks. But I don't think you have to sign up for anything, but sometimes people will set up events, to hang out. Like I believe that Brian Ross has tried to set up some stuff and it didn't always work out, but I'm planning an event in like July. It's called Camas Days. That's that's actually where I used to live. That's where I moved to 13 years ago.
Fun. Does it cost any money to participate in that group?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, let's go back to Alex Koval. Mr. Alex, do you want to tell us about People First?
Sure. I guess there's 8 people in our group. Hattie is one of them. And we're right now trying to figure out what event or what fundraising event we can do to raise money to do different things. And I'm the advisor, and I should have gone to a meeting this afternoon, but I chose not to because I wanted to focus on be prepared for this meeting. But I told Krista that I would be there at the next meeting, hopefully, if it doesn't interfere with my work.
Can you tell everybody who Krista is?
Krista is the she manages all of the People First chapters. And yeah, that's about all I know.
That's about all you know. Do People First chapters around the state ever get together?
Yes, they do at this convention thing that happens in September. I however, have not gone to it. I'm hoping to maybe go this year. It depends on how tight of a schedule it is for some other events that happen around that time ish.
Okay. That sounds good. And does it cost money to be a People First member?
Yes. In some sort of way it does, because every year we have to pay like $50 into this thing to keep it running, I guess. Our annual
is that
dues.
$50 per person or $50 per chapter?
I believe it's $50 per chapter.
Okay. And that's one of the reasons the chapter is trying to raise money, right? To pay
Correct.
that?
Correct.
So the members don't have to pay it out of their pocket, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And what kinds of things do People First do?
Well, talk about different legislative items in our chapter, and go do fun things, which we have not figured out what we're going to do yet, I don't think, except for maybe going to a park at some point, I think. That was talked about a little while ago. We're just starting this out, so we're still trying to figure things out. We do know who's partly in charge of things, and one of our members might not do the thing that we might need that person to do. I don't know.
Okay. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
And did I ask if it was in person or if it was virtual?
Well, right now it's virtual, but this next meeting, we're going to all try and meet up at the Cascade Library. And then we might, if things go well, we might meet at the downtown library if we can reserve a room down there.
That sounds good. And what if somebody needs support to attend that meeting? Could their support person come?
Yes, I believe so. I don't see why not.
Okay, great. Let's pop back to Katie. Katie, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Katie, what other group are you in? Are you in Special Olympics?
Yes, I am in Special Olympics. We just actually had a recent event this Saturday, and I actually didn't really look forward to getting up that early, but Coach Elizabeth picked me up about like 5 o'clock at my apartment because we had to be in Federal Way, which is like kind of near Seattle, Tacoma. We had swimming for regional, so I had to do about like 4 relays.
Wow.
Yeah,
how did you do?
I think I did very well, but I'm not really in it to win it. But I got 1 gold medal, 2 silvers, and a ribbon. I have several medals back at home. But like I said before, I'm not really in it to win it. I'm there to have like fun. So it wouldn't really matter if I got first or second or third or fourth.
That's great. So Katie, besides swimming, are there other activities that you participate in with Special Olympics?
Yeah, in the summer I'm doing golf, and then I do bowling, and I think that's about it. I was thinking about doing baseball, but now baseball's a little too hot and humid.
Okay, sounds good. Are there a whole lot of people that participate in Special Olympics?
How do I say this? I think so, but that I'm not really too sure about. I know that Brian Ross does Special Olympics, and I think that Maddie Yui also did swimming, but I didn't see her. But I did play baseball when I was little, back where I used to live in Atlanta, Georgia, because I was on a special needs team, and I knew some people who were special needs. But other than that, for Special Olympics, I don't really do a lot of sports except for bowling and swimming and golf.
Excellent. And do they do different sports at different times of the year?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
They also do skiing and basketball, golf, bocce ball, tennis, track and field.
Bike riding?
Yes.
Okay.
I would do skiing, but I don't like the cold weather.
Yeah. So Katie, I think Alex has a question.
Okay.
It's more of a comment than a question. I do believe from my friend, I know that she wouldn't lie to me, that there is ice skating as well.
Wow, that sounds great. And I've heard that they have a bicycle riding team as well. So there's lots of teams. Katie, do you know if it costs money to participate in Special Olympics?
No, it does not.
Okay, that's great. And if somebody wanted to join, what would they do?
If they were to join, they would have to contact Coach Elizabeth Francis, but also you'd have to get your doctor to sign you'd have to have your doctor sign your like physical. I think that's what it's called, because it's like my physical is not, hasn't expired since until May 2025, but you'd have to fill out some paperwork, and but I'm pretty sure it's free and no charge. They're not charging anybody with disabilities.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you, Katie. So I'm going to go back to Alex now. And I'm going to ask a couple questions that's both of you are going to be able to answer. So do you guys live at home with your mom and dad, or where do you live?
I live in an apartment 20 minutes away from where my mom and stepfather live.
Excellent. And how long have you lived there, Alex?
Like 18 years, I think.
Wow. Do you like it?
Yes.
Okay. And Katie, you shared a little bit about you moved into your apartment in November.
Yes, I did. I actually met with my roommate's grandparents right before I moved in. And how I found my roommate was through this gal named Darcy Ladwick. So I've only met her grandparents. I have not met her actual parents. She said that her actual parents live in a different state called Texas, which is like, okay, that's a little too hot and humid for me, but so but I don't see her a lot. I usually see her like not a lot, because like I said, she's at Job Corps, but my roommate did have me a little worried at one point, because she said that she was thinking about moving back to Texas, and that had me a little worried, and I was gonna tell Darcy that I was going to try to find another roommate, but I also had to be careful of how many hours I work due to my, how do you say, SSI.
Yes. So Alex, do you have a roommate like Katie does, or do you live on your own?
No, I do not. I live on my own.
Okay. And if you guys were talking to somebody that lived at home with mom and dad and might be interested in moving out on their own, do you have any recommendations for them?
Yes. Get connected with SSI and SSDI if they qualify after a certain amount of working hours, and make sure you have a job that you're comfortable with, and then get into DDA and get a job coach, and get your natural supports all lined up, and have fun with it, and make sure you budget well, and don't forget to pay your rent.
There you go. How about you, Katie? Do you have recommendations for people?
I'd have to say, make sure the same thing he was going to say, make sure you're qualified for SSI, have a job coach. Except I know some people at my workplace that don't have a job coach, but I think they might be on, say, the autism spectrum. One of my friends said he would like to move out, but he said that his parents won't let him. They need him to support him, but I believe he's on the autism spectrum. Yeah, and make sure you have a job coach. He said he would like to move out, but his folks won't let him.
Yeah, not everybody has different circumstances. Do you guys have any, and each of you answer individually, do you have anybody that helps you with things? Does anybody come in and help you with cooking or cleaning or shopping?
Okay.
I'll let Katie go first.
I have to say that nobody really helps me cook my meals. I do them myself, but someone will help me shop for groceries, and that's my mom. But I would like to look into getting a caregiver because I know that my roommate has one. But other than that, I do most. I mean, I'm trying to prepare, or I'm trying to cook more meals on myself. Even though it involves math, my least favorite subject. But other than that, my mom helps me sometimes shops for groceries, but sometimes I'll do shopping after I get done with work since I work at the grocery store.
Okay, well, that makes it convenient. How about you, Alex? Do you have anyone help with things?
Yes, my mom helps me practically with almost everything that I need, grocery shopping and all the budgeting stuff that I need, except for the electric bill. I pay that, and out of my money that I get from the county. I work for Department of Community Services for the Developmental Disability Program. Darla is very well oriented with that group. So I get money through them because I am an office aide, and my mom helps me take me to the grocery store and pretty much everything. And then one day a week, my mom has started paying somebody to come in and clean my apartment.
There you go. That sounds nice. Katie, do you get help with your money and budgeting as well, or do you do that on your own?
So that's the thing. I do not manage my money. My parents manage my money, and when my folks are when they can no longer manage my money, my older brother Kevin, he's going to manage it for me. But I don't know how that's going to work for my future because he lives in a different state. So, but as right now, my parents are managing my money. My parents and I have talked about, we want to see how this apartment thing goes, but they said that they are saving up my paychecks so I can buy my own house. But they talked about me and my brother Brian maybe sharing like a duplex. I don't know if there's a duplex in my neighborhood. I want to say there's a duplex, but maybe Brian and I can share a duplex where he has his own separate house. I have two older brothers. One is Brian, and then one is Kevin.
Okay. You know what, Katie? I would do better with my money if my older brother managed it too. My older brother's much better at money than I am.
Yeah, same here. My brother's better with money too. I'm not very good with managing money, nor am I good with spending it, unfortunately. I'm
really good at spending it.
I am very good at spending it on stuff that I don't really, need.
Okay, so both of you mentioned that sounds like you both have a job. Alex, do you want to talk more about your job and what you do?
Sure. I do data entry. I help with the budgeting parts, making sure that all the calculations are good on the spreadsheet. for all of the agencies we work with. That includes Miss Darla. Just had to throw that in there. I do the printer count every month. That's a new responsibility that I have to do. So on Monday, when I go in the morning, me and my job coach will walk through doing the printer count so that Denise can tell the printer people or whatever how much we've used and how much we're going to pay for that month, I guess. I don't know how exactly it works with that and all stuff.
How long have you worked for the county?
I'm working on my 7th year right now.
Wow.
I started in 2015 in September.
Is this the first job you've ever had?
No, I've had 3 other jobs, I think.
And what were they?
One was working for Village Vendor. One was working for Cinetopia movie theater, a really fancy one that is no longer in existence. And then the hospital, which I did not like that job whatsoever.
How long did you work for the hospital?
I believe it was like 6 years or something like that.
6 years. Okay, great. And Katie, you've got a job as well. Did you say your job is at a grocery store?
Yes, hold on for a second. I've been working at Fred Meyer for the last 7 years. I work at the Fisher's Landing, Fred Meyer's. I would transfer locations, but I think my parents are a little worried about the homeless people problem, and I know there can be a lot of sketchy people around my area. I've been with it's more like the Kroger company. I've been with the Kroger company since 2015. So Kroger actually owns Fred Meyer's and a bunch of food chain stores, but back where I used to live, I was always used to shopping at a Kroger because it's much smaller. But I've been working with Fred Meyer since May 2015.
And Katie, is that your first job?
I'm trying to think. Yes, I believe it is.
Okay. And can I ask you, how many hours a week do you work?
I want to say like maybe 20 hours.
20 hours. Alex, I didn't ask you that. How many hours a week do you work?
I work 20 hours, 5 days a week, 4 hours, get an hour lunch, and yeah.
That's great.
Love my job. I don't think I'm ever going to leave.
So Katie, for you, do you have a job vendor or a job coach that helps you?
Yes, I do have a job coach. Her name is Adrienne Hollister. She's with Trillium Employments. I was with Employers Overload, but I didn't really like them that much because I had to share a job coach with another employee. He wasn't very nice. He's kind of rude.
Okay. How about you, Alex? Do you have a job coach?
Yes, and it is with Trillium, and Wendy is my job coach.
Okay.
She's very nice, and I've had her since the hospital days, since the last part of the hospital days. I'll just state that. And I think we should also, by the end of this, we should also talk about the employment event.
Okay. Would you like to go ahead and share about that now?
Yes, sure. Every October, we have an employment event, and it's a very good event. We give out awards to the employee, the employer, and the job coach sometimes, depending on who gets the award. And it is a very fun event, and I look forward to it every year.
Great. And is that in person?
Yes, and also virtually.
And also virtually. Okay. Okay, so guys, we've gone over People First and Special Olympics and Building Independence and the Developmental Disabilities Council. We've gone over your housing, and we've gone over employment, and we've touched on Social Security. Is there other things you think we should discuss that we might want to make sure other people know when they're thinking about being empowered and living on their own and activities to do?
Yeah, make sure you have a good county resource manager.
That's an important part. Katie, how about you?
I would say have a good like a good case manager.
And where do you get your case manager through?
I believe she's with the Department of Social Services and Health.
Would that be Developmental Disabilities Administration?
I believe so. Not quite sure.
Okay. Okay. And
Yes,
are there other things we want to share? Yes, it would be, Alex. Okay. Are there other things you guys would like to share?
Be safe, and talk it over with your parents. Have long discussions. If you can communicate well enough. If you can't, you can use a communication device. And I would also recommend, if you have by chance looked into the community summit, it is a great opportunity to get to know ideas about different things that different people are doing. And it is also one of my other favorite events.
Excellent. The Community Summit, do you know when it is?
Yes, it is June 13th, 14th, and 15th.
And where is it located?
It is in Wenatchee.
In Wenatchee, Washington.
The central part of Washington.
And so if anyone's interested in that, they could potentially get a scholarship. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how would somebody go about getting a scholarship for that?
Well, they could go to the WISE website and get connected through there, or talk to the county. I believe we have something posted on our website that has that information. If not, I will be talking to Trish about that.
Okay, that sounds good. Katie, I want to ask you something real quick. You mentioned about sometimes it can be scary living on your own because your roommate's gone a lot. What do you do when you get scared, and how do you keep yourself safe?
Let me think. I lock the doors. Oh, I mean, it's more like the homeless people problem. I lock the doors. I have a thing with Safe and Home, so they check in with me. Sometimes I'll check in with my folks and tell them that I got home safely. That's all I can think of right now. But I did make a little mistake of taking the bus a little late. But other than that, don't answer the door to strangers.
Katie, can you tell us what Safe and Home is?
Okay, so how do I say this? Safe and Home is basically a support plan. Like, they can talk to you about stuff like they'll ask me like how my day's going. Did I drink enough water? Sometimes they'll give me helpful advice. Like, if I don't know someone very well, should I answer the door?
Do you like that? Does it make you feel better?
Yes.
Okay, great, great. Well, how about we open it up? Oh, Alex, go ahead.
I have a recommendation. If you're getting hurt by somebody else, just let them have your phone.
That's a good recommendation. Your safety is more important than things, right?
Right.
Okay. How about we see if our audience has any questions? Does Hattie or Chris have any questions for us tonight?
I just wanted to introduce myself to Katie. I know the rest of you. Katie, my name is Chris Crone. I was saying in the chat that this looked like a really interesting meeting. I wasn't sure what it's about, but it sounds like there's an opportunity to grow the group and have lots of conversation about some of the topics you've already talked about.
Yeah. So thank you, Chris. Okay. Well, if Katie or Alex, do you have any final words before I turn off the recording? I couldn't remember what it was called.
No, I don't.
Yes, I do. I want to hear
Okay.
Hattie's voice again. I want her to talk about the importance of people first and the importance of having great relationships with the other coworkers you have.
Other coworkers I have. Well, I will say that no matter what scenario you're in, either when we're at People First or Building Independence with Katie or we're at work, it's always great to keep good relationships with everybody that you work with. If you have a problem, Alex, we don't yell at them, do we?
No.
We tell somebody.
Yes.
But, Darla asked if we had any questions, and I did have one question for you. I wanted to know, you mentioned that, that the Community Summit is one of your favorite events.
Yes.
And I'm just curious, what's your favorite part about that event?
Talking to my friends and seeing some other people that I don't get to see a whole lot, a whole bunch of times, and talking to one of my favorite people, and that is Miss Darla.
You're so sweet, Alex.
I thought you were going to say the dance party and the dessert social, but that's fine too. Darla's okay, I guess.
That too. Even though the music was really loud the first time I went.
Katie, what's your favorite event?
I don't know. Maybe the Halloween, the trunk or treat.
Oh, that's lots of fun. I have one more question for you guys before we wrap it up for the night. Since you guys are out on your own and you're doing all this independence and just your trailblazers, what would you do if you needed help? Who would you call if you had questions or you needed assistance?
I'd probably call my mother.
My mom.
Or
Your
friends.
Mom? Or friends. Yeah, Katie, you said you'd call your mom too?
Yeah.
Is there other people? Is there other people you could call if your parents not available?
Probably safe and home.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're there for. Huh? How about you, Alex? Do you have other people you could call?
Just my friends. I don't know.
You're pretty good at that. Okay. Okay, well, Thank you guys so much for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom on your groups. I'm going to wrap up this portion and turn off our recording. But if anybody has any questions on anything that you shared, they're welcome to contact us at info@peacenw.org, or they can give us a call. So let's turn this part off.